You witness the 14-minute visual treat, Adiyogi Divya Darshanam, narrated by Sadhguru. The unique and magnificent Adiyogi Divya Darshanam has won prestigious awards too. May I now request the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, to please address the gathering.
Founder Isha Yoga Center, Sadhguru Yagi Vasudev Ji, Minister for IT from the State Government, Sri T.M. Tangaraj Ji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Om Namo Shivaya. Om Namo Shivaya. Om Namo Shivaya. I bow to all that is Shiva, which means Shubha, all that is auspicious, gracious, benevolent in this universe. I feel especially blessed today. Earlier in the day, I had the good fortune of having darshan of Meenakshi Amma. I prayed before the Mother Goddess for the well-being of all. I feel blessed to be here on the holy occasion of Mahashivaratri in the presence of Adiyogi. I am sure you too, like me, are feeling the special vibrations of this ambience. We are sensing a form of energy flowing through us that makes the whole cosmos alive. I was only last week, that was I in Varanasi, the first of all, the abodes of Shiva. And I had a darshan of various manifestations of the God. In the Kashi Vishwanath temple and in the Kalbhairavi temple, in the end of December, I had the good fortune of praying before Mallikarjun Swami at Sri Sailam. And now I am here in the foothills of Veliangiri Hills, which is the Dakhin Kailash, another abode of Swayambhu Lord Shiva. We refer to Lord Shiva as Father, as Shiv Baba, yet he also appears in the form of Adi Narishwar, half male and half female. It points to the masculine and feminine sides of every human being and is an expression of the ideal of balancing the two, what we call gender balance today, comes alive so beautifully in that image. Sometimes I wonder if Shiva is the sum total of all our religion, feelings, and spiritual thinking. Consider the various paths to the ultimate realization and liberation, which can also be called mukti, moksha, or nirvana. Various traditions around the world speak of the path of devotion, of bhakti, the path of wisdom, of jnana, the path of yoga, and so on. And Lord Shiva is the only one who is perceived to be the guiding light on any of these paths. Whether a seeker is a devotee of a person God or a jnani seeking the absolute or a yogi striving for the spiritual union, taking refuge in Lord Shiva is sure to lead to the objective. In the same way, Lord Shiva is a deity for all, as he appears in his various manifestations matching each of us. He is a householder, a family man like most of us. But he is also a sannyasi who has renounced everything and dwells in crimson grounds of 8 mountains. He is the first yogi, the Adi yogi, and he is also the first Jnani, who, for example, is said to have inspiration Panini's grammar system, one of the tallest intellectual achievements of humankind. Lord Shiva, as the name implies, is a benevolent deity, and yet in countless myths, he is also depicted the ultimate fearsome deity, as revealed in another name for him, Rudra. This might be why both Lord Rama and Ravana worshipped him. This is why he is the symbol of both kinds of energies, creative and destructive. He indeed transcends such fierce opposites because his destructive drives is also creative, leading to the regeneration and rejuvenation of the cosmos. It is this aspect of Shiva's personality that comes alive in the Tandav dance, which he also performed on the hill not far from here. What can we mortal do before a god like this but to be in awe and bow down in worship? That is what I meant when I began this address with the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. Adi Shankaracharya wanted us to know and realize the eternal Shiva within all of us. He says in his melodious Nirmala Shastakam, No me mutta sanka, no me jatir bhedo, pita neva, meneva mata na janma, no bandhur, no mitram, guru neva, sishya, chidananda rupam, shivaham, shivaham. It means I have no fear of death, no caste or creed. I have no father, no mother, for I was never born. I am not a relevant relatives, nor a friend, nor a teacher, or a student. I am the form of consciousness and bliss. I am the eternal Shiva. To the non-believers, all of this may sound like a matter of belief and myth. However, it is astounding that modern science has also begun to unravel some of the secrets of Shiva. In the early 20th century, as physics broke new ground and scientists made images of the movement of subatomic particles, they found tracking lines very similar to the movement of a dancing Shiva, a Nataraj as depicted in traditional sculptures. What I am stating is, of course, a well-known theory. It shows that the ancient seers, in their deep meditation, perceived the true reality of the universe and expressed it their own language and symbols. Lord Shiva symbolizes nothing but that absolute. That is why many learned non-believers too remain astonished by Lord Shiva. Ram Manohar Lohia, a staunch socialist, was an agnostic too, but he understood that supreme phenomenon called Lord Shiva very well. In an essay titled Ram and Krishna and Shiva, he wrote in 1956, while Rama and Krishna led human lives, Shiva was without birth and is without end. Like God, he is infinite. But unlike God, his life consists of events in time and many landmarks, and he is therefore more non-dimensional than God. He is perhaps the only non-dimensional myth or concept known to men. There is certainly none other than that can reach him in this respect uncut. Fellow seekers, today is Mahashivratri, which in most parts of India marks the end of winter and beginning of sunny days. Mahashivratri thus also marks the end of darkness, the darkness of ignorance, and opens the path of enlightenment. For those in search of higher ideals of life, today is an especially significant occasion. We also happen to be in the presence of a renowned Rishi of modern times, Sadhguruji, who has done more than the best to propagate the teachings of our past masters in all corners of the world. Countless people, especially young from India and abroad, have found in him the inspiration to make spiritual progress. Moreover, Sadhguruji has been teaching us about our social responsibility too, through his words as well as action. Today, the world remains as torn in strife as ever, but it is also facing an unprecedented ecological crisis. The need for a balanced and compassionate life in harmony with Mother Nature and all its created children was never felt so pressing as it does today. May this Mahashivratri dispel darkness inside us and lead us all to more fulfilling and flourishing life. I wish we happy fun journey on this path, as this saying goes, Sibaste Panthano Hosantu. May the spiritual light of Mahashivratri brighten our paths every single day in our lives. Thank you, Namaskar, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Hind.